Hello, property nomads. Hope you're doing well. The autumn budget came out a little while ago, and there's a couple of things there that have slipped through the cracks that not many people have been reporting about. And it's important to do this video because we've done a bit of content a little while ago about the noise of heat pumps and the boundary limits. But what the government have announced in their infrastructure planning section of the autumn budget 2023 is that they are going to introduce new permitted development rights to end the blanket restriction that exists with heat pumps being 1 metre away from a property boundary in England. Now, that all sounds well and dandy, and that sounds fine, yes, but that will probably lead to its own issues, I imagine, because you're still going to be looking at the potential noise constraints and neighbour relations. You know, if someone was living next to me and decided to put a heat pump right next to my wall and I could hear it humming and doing whatever it needs to do, then I'd probably, as a homeowner, I'd probably be quite annoyed about that. So that, again, I think with these things, you're never going to make everyone happy, but it's interesting to note that when it comes to, again, pushing all these heat pumps, EVs, whatever it might be, that they're trying to be as proactive as possible. And I thought that was very interesting when it comes to heat pumps, that yes, they're going to certainly look to consult on it and then probably bring in permitted development rights to end the blanket restriction on heat pumps. So you don't have the stipulation of being at least 1 metre away from a property boundary. Doesn't mean it's going to solve everything, but it's probably a step in the right direction, because planning, if you've ever been through planning before, quite a lot of the time it could be a bit of a pain in the backside, to say the least. In terms of home buying and home selling, this was the other thing to go over in this quick video, was that what the government are looking to do is to provide about £3 million, they say, for a range of measures to improve the home buying and selling process. And they're going to look to test a pilot in terms of property tech and looking to digitise local council property data. Now, again, that sounds okay. That doesn't sound too bad. I think if you go through home buying, home selling, the conveyancing, and all things to do with legal fees, etc., you'd probably agree that the process could be made more efficient. It could be a bit clunky at times. Then you're going to get your old school people, and even I'm a bit skeptical of this, is you look at it and you go, well, if you digitize everything, then does that mean that you are more open to fraud? Does it mean you're more open to this data being in the hands of a lot more people than it needs to be? And then does that create its own issues moving forward? Chances are that could be the case. We don't really know. It is one of those be careful what you wish for things. And, you know, again, the property buying process can be quite clunky. Actually, when we look at English law system, when we look at land rights, property rights, and things that we've had for over around about 1,000 years, probably a little bit longer, then if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You could be opening a whole can of worms, basically. But again, it shows that the government are making an effort and understand that if they want to really get the housing sector moving, that these little things in the background are probably going to make a big difference. So we'll see what happens on those moving forward. In terms of other permitted development rights and much bigger changes in the property sector ahead, head over to Property Nomads podcast. Go and subscribe to the podcast. There'll be an episode over there soon. If not, by the time you listen to this, it's probably already on there. Go and hunt that down, because the massive change that's going to impact the property market we discuss on the podcast. But good news for heat pumps, good news for the digitization potentially of a lot of the property paperwork. Ultimately, will all of this happen? You'd like to think it would. As we've said before on the channel, we think we're going to be heading for a massive change in government anyway in 2024, so it might not end up making a difference. But these are a couple of points I've heard no one else talk about, hence this video, hence sharing this with yourself, especially if you're considering putting a heat pump in your home or within your property portfolio. Thank you very much. If I could ask a wee favour, and that is to subscribe to the Property Nomads YouTube channel. We're seeing quite a big increase in subscriber numbers, and that's as a result of yourselves subscribing, also from sharing the Property Nomads YouTube channel with as many people as you can. And just want to say thank you for doing that, because we're noticing a massive difference our end. So please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.